another educational video from Francisco Perez.
Here everybody of you know already the Piri Reis map. Here you see how perfect it was. And that's the so-called World Stone Map. We found it in the year 2000 in a private collection with other 350 pieces which do not have any connection to any existing or known South American culture. This stone and the other artifacts were found in the year 1984 by engineer Sotomayor while he was in charge for gold digging for a British mining company. He found a tunnel system, and in there were those 350 pieces. This stone is about 350 kilos in weight. It's granite, and it has a natural quartz line, which you see here, but all the other things are encarved. And for example, it starts here on this side. You can see that there is an eye inlay. This is the area of approximately Israel or the Near East. From here, you can see Italy, Greek. The quartz line, the natural quartz line, goes over the Mediterranean, enters here into the Atlantic Ocean, and here you have one continent which does not exist in our days, and I think this shows Atlantis. Then it enters into South America, and here is another. This is the Bay of Guayaquil in our days, and here you have another inlay and another one going up, and here is a circle inlay, and that's exactly the place where all those pieces were found. This is also the place where we found the best water which exists on our Earth, because it has an energy, natural energy, up to 1.5 million bovis. Bovis was a French researcher. This is also the place where we found the best water,
South America,
which exists on our Earth,
the Promised Land,
because it has an energy, natural energy, up to 1.5 million.
You have a natural
the place
energy
where we found the best water which exists on our Earth, because it has an energy, natural energy, up to 1.5 million bovis. Bovis was a French researcher. And the strongest water in Europe is the well of Fatima, which has 640,000 bovis. But this water in Ecuador has 1.5 million bovis, and it has silver and gold colloidal in nanomicroscopical form. So that means the silver and gold colloidal can go directly into the human cell. There are many legends that the kings were searching the water of life, and even we had some translations of Sumerian plates, and the translation was the gods were searching the water with gold. And I asked myself many times, why here, around this area where the Sumera were living, you have an inlay of an eye, and then showing exactly the place where this water is. And there's another continent here on this map, here, that's next to Asia. That's from the northeast Japanese island down further than Taiwan. And Professor Kimura told me, and he wrote also a book about the sunken continent Mu, that he thinks, because of his research, that from the northeast island of Japan, now Russia, until far under Taiwan, there once existed a long continent, and you have it here. And that means that this stone map should be at least older than 10,000 years. But then the big question, how could somebody make such a perfect map already 10,000 or more years before our time? This is a close-up. You can see here Iraq, Saudi Arabia, the Mediterranean and the eye inlay, the long continent here, and this eye. And here again, the line coming down here and the inlay where the pieces were found here where the circle is. This is the so-called pyramid with the shining eye. Even Jim used it for his new bestseller. So it means it is a very, very famous, but also very, very old symbol. And this is the only existing really pyramid with the eye. It has exactly 13 steps, like the pyramid on the $1. And very strange, our exhibition where I showed this pyramid in original in Vienna, the opening was on 21st of June 2001. And this crop circle appeared in Eastfield in England on the 20th. So I personally also think that humans' age is much, much older than we know until now. And here we have other very interesting artifacts from Peru, Ica. This is Professor Cabrera. He was a doctor in Ica, a small village close to the Nazca lines, and he collected the last 40 years more than 12,000 stones within carvings, and also thousands of terracotta figurines showing dinosaurs with human, showing heart transplantations, brain operations, and many other things. I have to say I was 3 times there, also with a geological scientist. We did the checking on many of the stones, and I have to say the majority of the stones, especially the very strange ones, they are really very, very old. But Professor Dr. Cabrera had also many new made stones in his collection. He was very fanatic. So I think at the time when he couldn't get new artifacts, he really ordered a man to do some new stones, and it's pity, but that sometimes happens. So I have to say definitely the majority of his artifacts, they are really old, very old, some of them probably millions of years, but he passed away, he had also some new done in his collection. Here you can see the dinosaurs with human, dinosaurs with a fish, a man looking up.
But then you gotta understand that a lot of these people remake the ones they had so that it wouldn't be stolen. Now today we say, oh, the fakes, the fucking fakes, the fake motherfuckers. Yet everybody in their right mind, if they had something worth millions of dollars, and people was trying to take it from you and kill you, you would make a fucking replica and say, here, you could take the replica. You don't kill me, please. Take it. Use your mind.
To the stars. Here you have a kind of pyramid, very interesting. We checked very carefully this stone, and the patina is really very old. This map is also very, very old, very heavy, a very big stone. And here you have some terracottas from his secret chamber. He called it secret chamber. Dinosaurs with human. Here you have stomach operation. And these 2 shells are showing really faces. I mean, very strange shells. He kept them also as some very special artifacts. Now we are going to Mexico, to Acámbaro. Acámbaro is about 3 hours by car west of Mexico City. There was a German living from around 1920 up to 1945, and they found on one mountain over 35,000 terracotta pieces, with many of them showing really dinosaurs. And Hapgood did research on it, and 2 other American researchers did age datings in America, and those pieces are between 2,000 and 6,000 years old. So there is the big question, how could those people know how dinosaurs are looking like? This is another very interesting piece, because if you look at this piece, you think this is an Egyptian artifact. It is not. It is also from the same place, from Akambaro. Also this one. And they really had more than 35,000 pieces. And all those pieces are still not accepted by the Mexican government as originals. Even there are really existing age datings between 2 and they really had more than 35,000 pieces. And all those pieces are still not accepted by the Mexican government as originals. Even there are really existing age datings between 2 and 6,000 years. Why they cannot be accepted? Because people could not have known even 2 or 6,000 years ago how dinosaurs are looking like. This is a drawing of the so-called Burris Cave in Illinois in United States, done by Russell Burroughs, who found in the early 1980s an underground tunnel system, and he brought out thousands of stones with end carvings with an unknown writing, the one I showed you on the bottom of the pyramid with the eye. And he also wrote a book. He explained that there are sarcophagus, pure gold inside, that there are mummies looking like Egyptian, that there are big overman-sized statues with diamonds and precious stones and everything. So he brought some of the stones to some museums, and they all told him those are frauds, tunnel system. And he brought out thousands of stones with end carvings with an unknown writing, the one I showed you on the bottom of the pyramid with the eye. And he also wrote a book. He explained that there are sarcophagus, pure gold inside, that there are mummies looking like Egyptian, that there are big overman-sized statues with diamonds and precious stones and everything. So he brought some of the stones to some museums, and they all told him those are frauds, new done. So then he started to sell stones. And even he found a lot of gold objects, and he and 2 of his friends were melting this gold. And we found out, especially Luc Bergin, a Swiss journalist, he found out that there exists in Switzerland a bank account on the name of Russell Burroughs and his 2 partners, 3 men. 2 of them died, and so Russell Burroughs cannot take the money out by himself, and there are $5 million US. So how can he make $5 million US with just stone frauds? So it's reality that he really found a lot of gold. Then he wanted to show this place to Wayne May, the publisher of an archaeological magazine called Ancient America, and he told him he will show the place if he pays him $10,000. So he said, okay, show me the place. And when they were around the area, Russell Burroughs said, no, I decided I don't show you the place. So Wayne May knew approximately where this area is, and he called ground penetrate radar specialists, and they did a research. And if you see here, you see here the statues, you see the gold sarcophagus, which he wrote by himself, Russell Burroughs. And here you have gold detections, the sarcophagus. You have also statues here, and the whole system is much bigger than even he discovered yet. So that means Wayne May is now trying to find an entrance to prove that this underground tunnel system with gold sarcophagus really existed. And here I show you some of these stones, always with the same writing here, but with strange humans on them. Here like an Egyptian, the same writing. This is like the Greek Alpha, and also the strange writing. This could be Tanis, the goddess of the Middle East, and the unknown writing. Also these marble plates he sold, he brought out of this tunnel and he sold it. And this symbol and that one I found also in the book from Churchward, The Sunken Continent Mu. Here you have an Egyptian goddess. That's again looks like Egyptian. This is like the Greek Alpha, and also the strange writing. This could be Tanis, the goddess of the Middle East, and the unknown writing. Also these marble plates he sold, he brought out of this tunnel and he sold it. And this symbol and that one I found also in the book from Churchward, The Sunken Continent Mu. Here you have an Egyptian goddess. That's again looks like Egyptian, but always this so-called pre-Sanskrit. This is a Ushabti found in United States on another place in a mound building in an old former mound grave. So I got the information from Rex Gilroy that he also found a broken pyramid and some hieroglyphs in Australia, and I believe him, because if this civilization could even go to United States, why they couldn't have been able to come to Australia? That's another small stone plate, again found on another place while ground working by a farmer, and it shows also typical and 100% Egyptian goddess. Then another place, Utah, Mr. Bowers found around 30 years ago a tunnel system, and inside the tunnel he found two mummies. The male was about 3 meters in size, with red hair and a red beard and a big sword and armors, and the lady was blonde and 2.7 meter, perfect mummies. And he brought out of this cave 60 stone cassettes with metal plates, with another but sometimes very similar looking writing like the ones I showed you before on metal plates. 60 perfect done stone boxes with metal plates with unknown writings and drawings on it.
Wake up.
This stone is from Colombia. It's very interesting because on one side you have the writings like the other one I showed you, but on the second side, on the opposite side, you have a different style of writing in corals inlay. That's again a stone from Sutatausa in Colombia. That's also from Sutatausa, Colombia. And now we are in Calabria, in Italy. 20 years ago, Dr. Tolone, a judge, a mastodont, that means the artifacts are showing always the sun and the same writing. Now we are going to the story of the giants, the legend of the giants. This skull was found in Peru, and here is a model how this person must have looked like. That also, this is the original skull, and this is a model. These skulls, this photo is from early 20th century. It was done in Malta, Mediterranean, and the skulls were shown until 1968, and then they disappeared. And again, Adriano Forgione, the publisher of Phoenix magazine, went with the Italian television skulls. They have only one bone line over the skull.
All right, so if you guys don't, I know a lot of this stuff already, so I'm sorry if I'm not really commentating. You guys might not understand, but
so you must close
second.
the fontanella. That means that the baby would die.
So here, you see how this, if you look on, there's a line here that separates this on a normal person. But see, this guy just got one line, so it's not like us. So there's a lot more that we don't understand about people.
Here you see it perfect. We have 3 stone plates, and these skulls, they have only one bone line over the skull.
3 skull plates.
This is a so-called deformed skull from Ica, Peru, from the Maria Reiche Museum. That's another one. But you do not see the deforming, the deformation artificially. And this, many of the specialists, doctors, university professors, they told me this is impossible, a deformed skull, because you, through deformation, you cannot create the double of bone material. And this skull even has hair on top. That means it would be very easy to do a DNA analysis and an age dating, and I also do not think that this skull is a Homo sapiens sapien. Look at those strange skulls. And they were all found very close to the famous Nazca lines in Peru. Here we go to the story of the giants. This is a footstep from South Africa. This is Professor James Hurtak, a famous researcher, and he did a real good research, and also other scientists, and they say this is not human done, it is not natural, it is a real footstep. But here you see a normal human. I show you later some bones of a 7.6 human skeleton from Ecuador, and up to 10 meters, Professor Muldashev reported me from Tibet. This would be the shoe size of this giant. It would be number 177. It was 130 centimeters long. These 3 footsteps, the Russian eye doctor and researcher Professor Muldashev went to northern Syria because he got the information of 3 giant footsteps, where of course the official archaeologists are saying this is human done for some kind of ceremony. So he went there with 5 different scientists, archaeologists, geologists, anthropologists, ethnologists, and they did a check on those 3 footsteps. They put even water inside to check if you go with 2 food inside a weak material and you make a step ahead and you want to go back out of it, you have to put your weight on the heel, and you can see here that it is perfect done. So they took also some material from this so-called stone with them, and they did in Russia a material check, and it was definitely cement. Here you can see how big this footstep was. Also, they did a measurement, and they said this human must have been at least between 6 and 7 meters. Here you have bones. They were found 1964 in a small valley in Ecuador. There was a part of a mountain break.
You understand, this is all in America. The land of milk and honey, Canaan, where the giants roll.
King down, and some broken bones were shown off. So the people there were very anxious, and they called Father Carlos Vaca. He was working in hospitals, and he knew how human bones are looking like, and he saw that these were human bones, and the measurement gave him the size of 7.6 meter. This bone I got from his family.